Hello, Lucid City. My name is Neil Rose, and I'm the managing partner of Rose Law. I am a practicing attorney since day one in Lucid City, and I've handled many, many cases, many of them being multi-million-dollar cases. I'm also the director of operations for Rose Securities, and I'm on the mayor's cabinet as the Department of Justice. I'm the only candidate currently running today that has been in the cabinet and worked with legislation in this city. I appreciate everyone who's watching today, and I think it's going to be a great debate. Thank you.
All right. My name is Swalu. I'm not here to give you some bullshit promises and tell you what you want to hear. From the candidates that have been around, I believe I was the only one who actually invested time to go around and talk to people, see how they feel, see what they need, fixed. And as somebody who used to be a criminal, reformed, hopefully, I think I know both sides and how to get things done. Again, I'm not just gonna tell you what you want to hear or make you fake fucking promises. I'm gonna get shit done. You heard? Let's fucking go.
Good evening, Lucidians. George Beckham here. Boy, am I excited to be here. Listen, whatever happens during the next 60 minutes, I just want to say it's an honor to be part of this process. I hope you can all get a greater understanding of each candidate. Thank you very much for having me here.
Good evening, Lucid. It is a wonderful night for everyone here. I'm glad to be here with everyone, with the other candidates. I'm happy you're willing to give us your time and spend the next 60 minutes watching us debate each other. And this will be very interesting, and I can't wait.
Lucid City's economy has fluctuated wildly this year. What is your plan to stabilize city finances without raising taxes across the board?
Raising taxes is a question that I've been asked a lot. It is something that I will never do if I become the mayor. For the economy, I think it's important we fill the job positions, and job positions is something I can easily fill as the mayor with the up and coming agency I'm looking to in place with city backing. Rockwell Employment Agency is something that will one-to-one interviews with people with City Hall and a client. Will place you in a job anywhere you like with the proper training, permits, and education. I think a job agency is something the city desperately needs and desperately could profit from.
Thank you so much, Tony. Next, can I have George to the stage?
Same question?
It is going to be the same question for you. Lucid City's economy has fluctuated wildly this year. What is your plan to stabilize the city's finances without raising taxes across the board?
So we need to bring more people into the city, and we need to bring more Gokus into the city to work the mundane jobs and the beginner jobs that I believe most of us have all done at one point in time. If you look back to the event that I hosted last night, I'm trying to keep everyone in the city happy and engaged. I believe that will bring a bigger player base to come in, and it will definitely help the city's economy grow.
Thank you so much. Neil?
All right. So as our finances have fluctuated this year, I've got a kind of good purview being in the cabinet. Our previous mayor, our current mayor, Dexter, has put us in a pretty good position. So keeping everyone well-funded in DPS, so our EMS and PD is going to be top priority. And now that we have the bars, as they recently announced, I think it's a fantastic time to really engage the community and really like the events rolling from this campaign right into the rest of the city. With all the bars and stuff like that, I think bringing back funding for different events and stuff like that and bringing back a funding team within the cabinet is going to be a top priority for getting everyone engaged and not only just grinding in Lucid City. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Neil. Swallow?
What was the question again?
The question is, Lucid City's economy has fluctuated wildly this year. What is your plan to stabilize city finances without raising taxes across the board?
So unfortunately, I'm not going to lie to you again and say that it's going to be a guarantee that they don't raise it. But in order for everybody else to be self-sufficient, that would have to be, on the table. As somebody with not much money, I don't fucking complain about having to pay a little extra fee. And if you have the money, you should be supporting the rest of the community, and you should be willing. I mean, everybody pays taxes, unfortunately. Uh, PD is the last of my concern. I feel like they're very well off already. They make several mistakes. You know what I mean? It's more funding should not be going to the police. That is it.
Thank you so much.
Mayor Dexter Cherry's time in office sparked strong opinions. Some saw progress, others saw problems. In your view, where did the administration get it right, and where did it go wrong?
So I'm not 100% familiar with everything that Dexter's done, but I know from when I first moved here, things have improved. I mean, you can't please everybody, unfortunately, again, but for the most part, I think Dexter did a great job. I was able to, buy a house with my friends, buy a car, live life happily without any problems.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Could you repeat the question for me, please?
Mayor Dexter Cherry's time in office sparked strong opinions. Some saw progress, others saw problems. In your view, what did his administration get right, and where did it go wrong?
In my opinion, Mr. Dexter Cherry had the hardest job in the city at the time. He took on the first mayor position the city offered, and that came with a lot of hardships and a lot of battles to fight with the state. I think he tried his best, and that's all he could have done. But Mr. Dexter Cherry did an amazing job with the community. He was able to build a city hall that engaged with the community, had meetings with them, and that's something he did very well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. No Rose, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I'd love to. So I think we did some amazing things this last term. It was quite a long one. Some amazing things like the Good Neighbors Project that came through with it, the Cannabis Reform Act that allows us to carry as many blunts as we want. I think we're in a fantastic positioning as far as funding goes for our DPS and things like that. I think we're in a great position for the next mayor to go forward with the funds available. As far as what might have went wrong with the current administration, I think Dexter would agree that we got hung up on the Autobahn a little bit. And we had some other things we'd like to push forward. And because we got hung up on that, we weren't able to push forward a few things that we think would have been great for the city. I think in the future, the mayor should look to push some of those things a little bit quicker if we can. And yeah.
Thank you so much. George, you're up next.
So I'm not here to talk down on Dexter. I think Dexter, for the majority, was good for the city. I think he more than overextended himself in terms of, I believe he worked for real estate. He may still do. He worked for Lachettes, and he also works for Gun Store 366. I never felt like he should be overextending himself that much. He should have probably prioritized the mayor's role more. Not to say that he was a bad mayor when he did do the role. Absolutely not. So yeah, I would say that Dexter extended himself. On top of that, I think that some of the people in the current cabinet, it was probably jobs for the boys, and he didn't get a diverse range of views. Thank you.
Pastor, do you hear that?
I do hear that. You know what that means. We've got a surprised guest up here to ask questions. Welcome to the stage, Mr. Mayor Dexter Cherry.
Okay.
Yes,
It's nice to know that I can come out after this, after we spoke about some of the time I had in office. So I'd like to ask some questions individually to the candidates myself, starting with George. George, if you'd like to step up to the podium.
Oh, absolutely.
I will say I've had long talks with each one of the candidates prior to this debate. I've had excellent communication with all of them, and I believe they all have their hearts in the right place, and they're looking to do a great job for our city. Now, Mr. Beckham, we've had our conversations and our run-ins at times, but I believe you're looking to do the best you can for the city. Now, I know you just said in your comments that I didn't prioritize the mayor's office, that I had, I guess you're saying I had 4 jobs. I wasn't aware that was possible, but, I did work, to try and make up some money. So I wasn't reliant completely on the city hall fund. But do you understand the amount of work that is expected out of a mayor, and that many of your duties will not be while you're sitting in office? It'll be while you're at home on your laptop trying to take care of business, and that a great number of the jobs and expectations, communications, and processes will be done from your apartment and not necessarily in the city.
Well, of course, Dexter. Thank you very much for the question. I would like to turn that question slightly around on you and say, who here is most active in the city out of all of these candidates here? I believe that's myself. Whether I'm in the city or I'm out of the city, I'm always working. I'm always here, and I'm always ready to listen, and I'm always ready to work.
Excellent,
as simple
excellent.
as
Now,
that.
I have one other addendum to the question. As the current owner of Gun Store 1022, and the expectations of keeping a business running and that being your primary process, especially when you were told as an owner that it should be your priority in the city, how do you expect to run 1022 and make it a priority while making the mayor's office also your priority?
Well, I'm glad you said that, and I highly anticipated you to bring that question up. I think that I've built 1022 up into such a good business with some really loyal people around me, and I would like to think that would reflect my mayorship. I don't need to spend a lot of time at 1022 just because the operations there are just run so smoothly with the team that I'm more of an overseer now.
Excellent. Thank you for your answers, George. That'll be enough.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, I'd like to speak with Mr. Neil Rose. Would you step to the podium, please?
I'd love to.
Thank you, Neil. Now, I am interested in some of your last comments as well. When speaking on the speed of our legislation that we did, you were part of my cabinet and my legal advisor and part of the Department of Justice. You did say that you wished we hadn't focused so much on our last attempt at legislation, the reduction of speed limits in the highways to the north. And you said we probably should have focused on trying to push these bills through faster. Now, I do understand the process and what we have to go through. How do you expect as mayor to force the ethics board to review your legislation at a quicker pace?
That's a fantastic question. So first off, I didn't say I wouldn't have done that or anything like that, because it's a learning experience. You're the first mayor, and we went through a lot of learning curves. Now we know that we need to try to push more things. I don't necessarily mean one thing at a time type of thing. I think a little bit of our learning curve here was we tried to push one thing for quite a while, and while it wasn't working, we continued to push it. I don't think we could have foresaw that as the outcome, but it's something we should now learn off of. And pushing, several different things to the ethics board is something we should be looking to do in the future. Yeah.
Excellent. And also speaking on focusing as mayor, since I asked the same question of George, I'll ask this of you. As an owner of Rose Law and Rose Security, and also an active private lawyer, how do you expect to prioritize your job as mayor while also operating these businesses?
Oh, fantastic question. So with Rose Law, just like you have your law license. I will not be able to practice law if I become the mayor. So Rose Law will be taking a bit of a downside as far as, a step back as far as that goes. Rose Securities will be the perfect type of thing to continue on the side. The nice advantage I have is they are not brick and mortar businesses. They are things I created, just by hand. I wasn't given to me. And Rose Securities won't go away just because I don't pay the utmost attention to it. So my main focus can be mayor.
All right. Thank you, Neil. You may step down. All right. Next to the podium, Mr. Radiq, would you mind coming up? Swallow, we had some really good conversations when you were first going around meeting people at the businesses. I had an excellent time talking with you. My main question for you is: you speak about making better pay for employees of businesses in the city. How do you expect to do that when most businesses are restricted to the profits that they make and are kind of stuck in paying at a certain rate compared to their profits? How would you support that?
So again, I think that's a problem with staffing issues. I know I worked at the hot dog place in the mall for a little bit, and the pay was not worth my time. Even just having to collect ingredients and whatever the case may be, I wasn't getting paid enough. Um, Again, I'm not promising everybody fake stuff and saying there's not going to be an increase in taxes, but unfortunately, that might have to be something to make everybody else live a better life.
Okay. Okay. Now, on that same topic, I, as mayor, have spoken with a great number of business owners, especially some of the weed dispensaries. And while they have some of the highest pay rates in the city, they are having difficulty finding employees, even though they pay upwards of $1,500 to $2,000 a tick to their employees. How can you say that raising pay will get more employees when high paying jobs are having difficulties finding staffing?
Um, so again, this is the same thing. So I'm a reformed criminal. I first was living a civilian life, and it wasn't luxurious enough. So I had to turn to crime. There's just no money to be made. The what is it? 30 minutes you're there, you're making 3,000. You could go fucking do anything in 5 minutes and get more than that. You know what I mean? It was just not worth your time. It's not worth your effort. It's not exciting. It's just a lot of problems. It's a problematic thing.
Okay. Well, thank you, Swallow. That's enough for now. Last but not least, Mr. Cognac, you come to the stage.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Tony. We also had a nice conversation the other night about some of your processes and plans and your cabinet, and I really appreciated the insight into your campaign. Now, my question is about your employment agency that you mentioned this evening about guaranteeing jobs for people where they want to work. Are you saying that as mayor, you're going to force employers of our businesses in the city to take employees that you deem to be employable and not allow them any insight into the hiring of the staff that will be running their business?
Thank you, Mr. Sherry, for the question. And no, this is not what I meant. This may have been miswording on my part, but Rockwell Employment Agency is something that would be collaborating with businesses, any business at all, and it is up to the business itself. Rockwell Employment Agency will shorten it for RIA. RIA will connect employees, what we call clients, with businesses. They'll handle an interview where they grab the traits, previous experience, and what the client would like. And that'll go through a system. They'll see what businesses are looking for example, specific traits. Someone that works alone, or someone that works with many people. And like you said, will RIA have control over employment? No, they won't. The business itself will always be in control. RIA will stand as a middleman of services, finding employees for the suffering businesses, or maybe not even suffering. RIA can help with training for certain jobs, or education, or questioning.
Okay, thank you for your clarification. Last thing to cover, more explanation from your comments. You said you will never raise taxes. How can you, as a candidate, without seeing the requirements of the budgetary aspects of the city hall, guarantee that you'll never raise taxes? Are you looking at defunding certain process like EMS and PD if you aren't able to cover their funding goals?
Thank you, Mr. Cherry, for the question. Defunding is something I would not like to do. I think increasing the funding is something better and that I'm interested and willing to do. About guaranteeing no lowering the taxes. It is a bold statement of mine, but I believe with the financials from RIA and other projects my administration will be able to hold, that we will be able to hold off raising taxes and gain the financial revenue to increase the city hall budget off that alone and be able to help everyone without making the everyday citizen suffer.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate your answers.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And thank you, candidates, for the opportunity to answer my questions today. Good luck with the process.
Thank you, Dix.
Thank you.
Folks, you're watching Democracy in Action right here on Weasel News, Lucid City's most trusted, unbiased name in news. If you like what you see tonight, make sure to pick up a Weasel Times newspaper subscription for real stories and real journalism.
Speaking of news, the breaking story in Lucid right now is that 4 bars have recently opened. In fact, the official debate after party will be hosted at Tequila La Postal 513. See you all there. Multiple reports claim that you have made daily phone calls to a female real estate agent asking if she was still with her husband. Behavior like that many would consider harassing and inappropriate, especially for somebody seeking public office. How do you explain this conduct, and what does it say about your respect for personal boundaries and your ability to lead with integrity and accountability?
I think that counts as slander, but what I will tell everyone is I did say this. I said that just because there's a goalkeeper, it means you can't score, okay? Which is my never say die attitude to this city, and it's how I represent myself. I will always try and fight for Lucid. Thank you very much.
Mr. Cognac, during recent polling, several residents expressed confusion about your candidacy. Some even mistook your name for an alcoholic beverage and questioned how liquor could be mayor. What does it say about your campaign's visibility and connection with voters if your name is more associated with a drink than leadership? And how do you plan to earn the public's trust and recognition moving forward?
Thank you, Mr. Passer, for the question. I must say my last name is a bit unfortunate. It does resemble the alcoholic beverage cognac. But about how that represents me, it doesn't at all. Me, myself, I don't drink alcohol at all. I think it doesn't help me personally. Some of you in the crowd or watching might say it helps you calm down or it might make you happy. I think that's completely fine and amazing. But for me, it doesn't show me who I am. And for the future, I plan to show who I am, my administration, my cabinet, that we're more than capable by running the mayor's office through community engagement, being there for you, helping everyone out we can, the businesses, the citizens, helping protect you. Anything we can, we're there. That's how I plan to show myself.
Mr. Rose, you've been accused of an incident in which you allegedly ejaculated into a woman's coffee cup without her knowledge. An act that is, if true, is not only deeply violating, but also criminal. How do you respond to these allegations, and what should voters take away from your character and your fitness to hold public office in light of them?
So that is a fantastic question. Before I answer that question, I'll go ahead and let everyone know the definition of slander is something that's false. I know Mr. George isn't a lawyer, so I'll throw that out there. As far as that goes, I'm pretty sure it's innocent to proven guilty, and I'm pretty sure we were almost all charged with crimes there, including yourself and the person next to you. In this fine state, it's innocent to proven guilty.
Swallow, since the start of this race, you've been virtually invisible. No public events, no clear platform, and no engagement with voters. At this point, many are wondering if you're even taking this campaign seriously, or if you're just on the ballot by accident. Why should anyone consider you to be a legitimate candidate when you haven't shown up to do the work?
Hey, it doesn't always take money to make money. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to pay for all these events to, show face give you bullshit promises. You know what I mean? Again, when I first got selected, you could ask any business owner, any EMS, police officer who was the first person that approached them, you know, asked them about any concerns, ideas. It was very engaging, actually. I'm a very busy man, but, you know, I think I do my best. I asked several people how they felt, and that's my goal. I'm not going to just lie and do whatever it takes to be a mayor, you know?
My question will be towards Beckham. Mr. Beckham, what is the difference between a person being a terrorist and being with someone that isn't, being friends with a terrorist and working with them very closely?
I mean, you've kind of defined it yourself there, Tony, so I don't really understand what your question is. You've just said, what's the difference between someone being a terrorist and someone working with a terrorist, where you've just kind of defined it yourself. So I don't really understand the question.
Absolutely. You in your speech you claim to have backed Mr. Dexter and the things he's done. Yet you try to do several things that he's already done that have failed. You promised the city as well. It's the easiest thing in the world to make a legal security team. Yet you run around with an illegal security team. Why is that?
Yep. So first of all, I'd like to address the safety team. Keyword being safety. Okay. No one has ever called us a security team. So thank you, Neil, for not being observant. I guess that's a sign of things to come if you were to become mayor. Dexter's policies on the whole were good, but he couldn't get a few of them through. The way I see it, I go through a different approach, and I will try and push those ideas through. And at the end of the day, if that means that I get those ideas through, well, then I guess I've kind of done a better job, haven't I? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Swallow. If you could ask Mr. Beckham your prepared question, please.
Yeah. Yesterday, you held an event, trying your best to engage the community. You know, some people weren't able to show up because I guess they don't care about the community, but those that were involved seemed to had a great time. Um, did you have any problems last night, you know, with some of the people who were unhappy with the outcome?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Swallow. We did have a slight mishap on the last person to be found, which was me. I paid the SOSE organizer of the event, but there was a discrepancy. But sorry, not the organizer, the organizer of the group that captured me or captured someone. There was a discrepancy between the leader of that group and the people that they were working with. At the end of the day, the person that signed up got paid. As far as I'm concerned, we fulfilled our obligation. The event was very successful. There is always going to be trial and error and things like this. And I think that going forward, it's definitely an event that we can host again and get the city engaged with. Thank you very much.
And Mr. Beckham, before you return to your seat, if you want to choose the next candidate, and we'll start with your question.
Yeah, of course. I will pick Swallow here, I believe. If you can just bear with me a second. Swallow, I just want to make it clear I do like you as a person, but I do have to ask if you're even taking this election seriously. So when you yourself said to me, and I quote, on the 16th of October, what time and what date is the election? I'm not sure, lol.
And Swallow, after you answer, if you stay to the side of the podium so you don't have to walk back to your seat in between all the questions.
All right, no problem, no problem. Yeah, so again, you know, I'm a little bit of a pothead, so you know, I'm very forgetful. I'm your average guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm very involved in this. It's just a matter of funding, I guess, on everybody's behalf. You know, everybody besides Tony and I have been, you know, just breaking the bank, buying votes. But I do my best, and I think that's all that matters.
Neil, if you want to come up and ask your question for Swallow.
Sure. All right, Swallow. As far as anything you promised so far, anything like that, do you understand anything as far as actually running the city? What do you know about it?
Well, basically, I know sometimes you just gotta fucking put your foot down. I've been involved in the city for many years. I've experienced lots of, negativity, positivity, and I think I know how to, persuade and try to get things done. It's not always a guarantee, but again, I'll be doing my best to make sure everything thrives on everybody's end, and not just behalf of PD or, you know.
And next we have Tony.
Alrighty, Mr. Swaloo. Yesterday during the event that was organized, and I quote, you said, if you don't win this mayoral election, you'll air out the room. Can you explain what you meant by that?
I think Neil said it best. Innocent till proven guilty. Those are all allegations. I mean, again, these are just slander by an opponent. I wouldn't take anything he says to heart. Yeah, but I appreciate your concern and your question.
All right, Swallow, if you want to choose between Mr. Neil Rose and Tony Cognac to ask the next question.
Yeah, I'll pick. I'll be picking Neil. My question for Neil is going to be, at your job as a lawyer is basically to lie, try to swindle or stretch the truth to get what you want. Is that something that you've been pursuing, as a mayoral candidate with your money and buying votes as well?
A fantastic question. So I know when we had you as a client for Rose Law, we fought for your rights. So my job is to fight for people's rights and defend them to the best of my ability. I do know lying. I'm fine, by the law as far as that goes. As far as buying votes, I've done nothing of that sort. I have certainly campaigned, ran events, paid for different things, and had a good time.
Next, if we can have George.
Yeah, so question for Neil. So, Neil, you've been let go by some businesses and people that you represent in the city because you've been inactive at your law firm. It also appears that Bromden has your young protege at some point stolen some of your clients, I guess. So, what makes you think that you're able and active to fulfill the mayorship role in this city?
Fantastic question. Let's start off by saying Varkas is a fantastic attorney, and it was a pleasure having him as an employee for as long as he was at Rose Law. The clients that went with him and his departure to do his own thing was something that was like a matter of time. As far as activity goes, I've been running a business since day one, and anyone that works with me, the businesses that still work with me, know I always take their call, and I'm here to work for them.
Next, if we could have Tony.
Alrighty, Mr. Neil. On your birdie post, you talk about your great Cannabis Reform Act. Is it true that your participation and work for the Cannabis Reform Act is close to 0%, and you didn't work on it personally much?
Nope, not at all. Not true at all. I was the one who wrote the legislation that changed the law. I helped decide what route we would go. We tried several different things with cannabis. We ended up deciding to attack the point where you can only hold 10 blunts. And I was the one who wrote the legislation and got that to go through, along with the rest of the cabinet. I will not take all the credit of that.
Thank you so much, Neil. And if you could stay at the podium and start with the question to Tony.
Honestly, Tony, I don't know you too well. You seem like a pretty good person, but I have heard some people say that you are a bit passive for the position. What do you say to those people who say that?
Thank you, Mr. New, for the question. I am pretty passive, and I pride myself on being impartial. I'm unbiased. I can put my bias and my personal aside for the job. It is something I think it is required. Um, and being biased with the job is something unacceptable, I think. If you're in such a position giving favoritism to people, you shouldn't be near it, shouldn't have it at all. And that's why I think people consider me passive. It's because I am. Um, there's not much about it. I'm pretty passive.
George, if you want to come up and ask your question.
Yeah, I guess kind of following Neil's theme, really. Before this election began, I didn't really know who Tony was. I don't mean that in any disrespectful way, but I would just like to ask Tony, what is his greatest achievement in the city?
Thank you, Mr. Becker, for the question. My greatest achievement in the city, it would be the candidacy. I think I'm very fortunate to be in this position. I know there's tons of people out there. For example, Mr. Neil's running mate Chipmunk, a very notable and respectable man. That also should have been a candidate. So that's why I think um, I'm very fortunate to be here. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm here to change the city for the better.
All right, and Swalu.
Yeah, kind of agree with what George said. I mean, never heard of you before. No disrespect. Never seen you around. And you've kind of been answering these questions like Miss America questions where you don't really answer it. You just kind of give you know, a decent enough answer. You know what I mean? But you're not really answering any questions. So, are you even prepared for the mayoral candidacy at all?
Thank you, Mr. Swulu, for the question. And to answer your question straightforward, yes, I am. Me, Mike, and my cabinet have already been working towards amazing ideas. But like you said, I've been very passive, and some people may not know me, but my history is from EMS. I've prided myself in working as a civil servant, working to help everyone here, being there for you guys. And if I'm ready for the position, most definitely.
Thank you so much. Okay, and we're going to move on to the closing statements from every candidate. Now, this is the last time you'll get to speak to the people of Lucid before voting opens. Neil, I'd like to invite you up first for your closing statements.
Yeah, I think a lot of things were made clear tonight. But one thing I really want to press home is I'm aiming to make community engagement an important thing. I know there's a lot of grinding in Lucid City, but I really want us to pull a little bit away from that and have a good time. So that's why I'll be continuing a lot of things like the Good Neighbors Project, and as well as trying to bring in community funding for different events. With the advent of these new bars, I think we have a prime chance to really build up, the type of events, have events running, two a weekend, at least one a weekend, and really get that really played up. I think we can all come together and really make that happen. I appreciate everyone here, and regardless if I win or lose in the next few days, I want to continue running events for this city. I've had a great time doing it, and it's just amazing for everyone who's come out for that kind of stuff. I appreciate you all for watching, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil. Tony?
Hello, everyone in the stands, everyone watching. I'd like to say Lucid deserves more than promises. It deserves action, fairness, and opportunity. My cabinet and my administration will ensure that jobs are going to be accessible, businesses are supported, and that everyone in the city has a voice. Every suggestion, every comment, or every complaint will be heard, read, and seen. Um, And about you personally, I'm here to say I'm here to protect you and your rights, because your rights are currently daily being violated, be that by people or anyone else. I'm here to protect you, and that's pretty much it. Let's clean it up. Let's get this going.
Thank you, Tony. George?
Well, it's simple, really, isn't it? I mean, actions speak louder than words. But while words are all I can say, I will say a few things. Neil Rose puts on his birdie post, he's proven, no empty promises. What he is proven is someone that is unreliable and inactive. Swallow, unfortunately, doesn't even know what day it is. And then there's Tony, a nice guy, but a mayor, I'm not so sure. Time and time again, I've been in this city, I've been active, and I'm trying to build the community up. The event last night is just a sign of things to come, and I hope I can win your vote.
Thank you very much. And Swallow?
Yeah, again, I didn't have the funds to make all these events, but I tried to engage myself as best as I could. What I could promise is I'm not just going to give you false hope. I wouldn't trust a lawyer or somebody who buys votes. My main thing is trying to get your feelings heard, bring back them town hall meetings, get things done. When I remember back when we used to do the town hall meetings, things actually got changed within a week or two. The whole vibe of the city was better, and that's all from just coming together and talking about it as a group.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And with that, our debate is finished. I would like to thank all the candidates up here for your time and effort today. I think you all did an amazing job, and I think you taught the people of Lucid a little bit more about your campaigns. I would also like to thank the team here at Weasel. We got the Bishop behind the camera, and we've got Thorn running everything in the background. And the most thanks goes to Rosie over here. She's amazing. She came up with a ton of questions. And we would like to invite you all to come with us to the polls now to vote. Voting should be live. And after that, go to Tequila La for the official after debate party.